And we are live. Good evening, crypto warriors. Welcome back to Gem in the Crypto, episode 430. Today is Friday, July 12th, and I'm King.
Now I'm Bitcoin Zay. We're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 3-ish.
That's 3-ish, and today, a lot of good stories coming in. Of course, the biggest story that we've been waiting on, I think, now about 2 full years, and that's Trump tweeting opposition to crypto, specifically Libra and Bitcoin. Fed chairman is actually in the news talking about Bitcoin, even though this title of the article is actually misleading from the Fed chairman. So we'll get into that. Billionaire Mark Cuban officially gets a tap on the shoulder and says Facebook's Libra is a big mistake. You know me, I don't even say these type of words, but what I will even have to deem a very prejudiced comment from Mark Cuban as well. And of course, last but not least, the Miami Dolphins now have an official crypto. We'll talk about that more toward the end of the show. But first, for the free crypto coin from yesterday and what's going on in the market today.
Oh, yeah. So for our free crypto coin winners, unfortunately, none from yesterday. However, we will have a question for you to answer today. As far as the prices, we will talk about the big story with Trump, but Bitcoin has always been resilient, and it's crazy to see. It's actually up 4% today at $11,806. Ripple at 34 cents, up 4% as well. Ethereum at $276, up 2.9%. Bcash at $354, up 3%. EOS at $479 is up 2%. And finally, Litecoin at $105 is up 2% as well. So green across the board, even with the disapproval, which we'll talk about now.
All right. As we mentioned, top story of the day when Bitcoin Zay, as well as like a few other folks, texted me yesterday. I didn't believe it, but it looks like Trump has tweeted opposition to crypto, specifically Libra and Bitcoin officially, people.
Oh, yeah.
This is the moment we've
been waiting for this. Pat on the back to King. King has been waiting for this since, man.
I think it was like June 2017. I first called it.
Yeah, maybe before that.
Before he got elected. Before he got elected, for sure. But I'm telling you, people, I mean, we are officially on the, don't worry about the price. Mm-hmm. We're on the fast track. Yeah. The scary thing now, and it's funny, we're actually going to get to this as well later, but the scary thing is how our government is going to react. And it's funny, Mark Cuban alluded to, even though he alluded to only African governments, but I mean, this is crazy when you have the president of the United States. I mean, what's going on in the story? Tell us what happened. You saw it first. You were on Twitter.
I saw it live. I saw it right when it came out, and I sent it to King. He said it was fake. I was like, no, this is real. It was funny because the entire thread under it was all crypto people. It was literally everybody I follow was like, reach out to me. I'll explain it. I'll tell you about it. But he basically came out and stated that he did not like Libra. He said if Facebook and other companies want to become a bank, they must seek a new banking charter and become subject to all banking regulations, just like other banks. Then, of course, before that, he actually stated that he did not like Bitcoins or cryptocurrencies. He said they're unregulated and they're backed by thin air. So that's sort of what we've heard from people. The same people who have said it before have come out with crypto projects, invest in cryptocurrencies themselves. So the reason we're rejoicing is him saying this means they are definitely using and storing it.
Well, it's real now. You talk about really real.
There's nobody alive that can tell me anything about Bitcoin anymore because leader of the free world just said it through his Twitter where he talks about everything.
And I like how he said we only have one real currency in the USA and it's stronger than ever, both dependable and reliable. I hate that we keep talking about, like, here's the worst part. And Trump, you should even know this too. I'm sure he does. When we keep talking about the only real currency in the USA, the federal dollar, we are talking about a private company.
Yeah.
Why are we up? Like, what other private company in the U.S. do we uplift? Right? It's competition, or it's a monopoly, which it should be sued as. The dollar should be sued as a monopoly here in the U.S. But he says by far the most dominant currency anywhere in the world because of our military. You forgot to add that, and it will always stay that way. It's called the United States dollar! Exclamation point. I really feel like the only thing he forgot to add was some bitch at the end. That is all we were missing was some dip and some bitch and.
And look who
in America,
and look who agrees with him. Remember we talked about Maxine Waters. We talked about they're on the same team. People.
Right, exactly.
When it comes to
Hillary, what's the other guy? Was the socialist guy?
Bernie.
Bernie. Trump. Oh my God, there's going to end. All of a sudden, everybody's agreeing.
Yeah, hopefully at this
it
point,
does not matter.
Exactly.
It don't matter.
You can see through now and say, hey, all that stuff that they do, that's just conjecture on these TV channels. They're literally arguing to keep keep the lights on. They're just it's a TV show. It's entertainment. In real life, they all agree on the monetary policy. As you can see, the pushback on Libra as well as cryptocurrency. So it's real, people. I mean, if you didn't believe before, I mean, hopefully this is the signal you need.
Yeah, this is the best. I mean, literally, this is the flare we've been waiting for. Again, the scary part is what happened next. I mean, we know the war is over, but the fighting is going to happen. So, I mean, now that the president, all right, we have all eyes is a priority. Again, Mark Zuckerberg, listen,
give it to him.
He's earning this right now. Like, there you go, man. You're supposed to be a developer, you're a programmer. This is who you are, man. And I'm assuming this is the reason why he never sold his company to begin with. I remember hearing the other day, seeing the guy who owns the Clippers. What's his name?
Ballmer.
Microsoft. Ballmer. Ballmer was talking about Facebook and some other tech things. He dropped the ball on. He was like, well, not that one really. He said we tried to buy it. He said we offered him billions. I think he said maybe like 10 or 20 billion or something.
That's not enough.
And basically, yeah, he was like, he didn't want it, but we offered him billions. This is why Mark Zuckerberg didn't take the billions, because he was like, no, long-term game plan. If I can have what he has now, 2.7 billion customers, then I can easily flip that into an entire digital country, which we're seeing him doing. And everybody is losing their heads over this. I mean, it's literally like the Dave Chappelle skit, and somebody's head's gonna blow up.
Yeah, we are living in a Dave Chappelle skit.
Right. What's going on? The Game I Peep, Sergeant Crypto, Charles Oglesby, Donald Muhammad, Tony Noli, Madam Crypto, D. Chiron, Maximilian Price, Alec G, Cornelius Broadneck, Gervais Wright, hello, Ghost Acosta.
Oh yeah.
Everybody in here. But yeah, it's funny. Sergeant Crypto said he doesn't realize it, but this is crypto. Bitcoin don't care about its prepared opinion. To keep it honestly, to keep it real with you though, Donald Trump's for Bitcoin. Trust me.
He is.
All right, he is a very wealthy person who seemingly gets his money from ways that the mainstream America doesn't, right? Like, he's a fan of crypto, which is honestly probably why he even waited so long, because he's like, look, y'all not about to mess up my holdings either.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to even again, people, you gotta take the person away from it. Like, the main people who are pulling the strings, you're not gonna be able to say F them. You don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Like, who is in charge? Who owns the Federal Reserve?
Yeah.
So for those, you need to say F that person. Don't say F Donald Trump. That's stupid. That's a political figurehead who's a billionaire. You really can't do much about him, can you?
He has bosses too.
I mean, what year you get? Like in 2016? It's about to be 2020. He won, people.
Yeah.
He took a W, okay? Like, so let's leave him alone. Let's figure out who's behind these nefarious organizations like the Federal Reserve, because those are the people who actually control people like, well, I won't say Donald Trump, but clearly the Maxine Waters of the world they control. So
yeah, that's what
make sure you pay attention to that. Right.
Stay focused, people.
What's going on? Cool Works, Andre Durden. Alec G said you can literally replace Bitcoin or crypto projects in a statement with the U.S. dollar or any fiat currency. Exactly. So
I mean, like we said, it's misdirection. It's literally people that's going to quote it and say, see, he was saying we shouldn't use it either. Then it's going to be people like, yeah, but he's lying. So,
right.
Yeah.
And of course, we're about to, that's actually our next story. Let's go ahead and talk about that Fed chair statement. Federal chairman comes out again. So Marie, story's a little bit clickbaity. The story says that the headline is no one uses it. Bitcoin is speculative asset like gold. I actually saw when he was saying this. He was saying no one has been really using it as a currency, and he's correct about that.
Yeah.
He didn't give a reason, whether it's technological advance. I think he actually may have alluded to that too, because he came out fair. It was fair when he spoke. So for this to kind of be that, I mean, I get it. It's a crypto article. If anything, we should be rejoicing we get this headline, right? But we are unbiased in it. He didn't use it as no one's using Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we'll talk about this article, here, but the chairman of the United States Federal Reserve has said that a globally adopted cryptocurrency system could conceivably remove the need for reserve currencies. Testified before the Senate Banking Committee on July 11th, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell gave his analysis of whether a cryptocurrency system with global prevalence could diminish or even go as far as to remove the need for the so-called anchor currencies. Of course, we're talking about the U.S. dollar. He is quoted as saying, I think things like the obsolescence of today's reserve currencies are possible, but we really haven't seen widespread adoption. Bitcoin is a good example. So he actually brought it up.
Yeah.
So again, props to him.
Nobody has to hold up signs anymore.
Right.
They're talking about it.
They're talking about it. Bitcoin is a good example. Almost no one uses it for payments. Again, that's a fact. And so and the tone of which he said it wasn't like a negative thing. Like, listen, people, he was just saying, no, almost no one uses it for payments. And again, they're taking out some of his quote, the most important part, which is I get it, but you got to come on,
but
be
when you
fair.
chop it up like that, you already know what's going on.
But the quote here on the paper says almost no one uses it for payments. ... It's a speculative store of value like gold. Yeah, he said no one really uses it for payments. He said, but if anything, he basically pushed gold out the way and put Bitcoin in place of gold. All right, that's the tone of it. And that's what I got from it when I saw it live. So again, this article kind of chops it up. But it's actually incredible to see the Fed chair come out in support of it, unless the same people he works for and own for the Federal Reserve might have bought some Bitcoin, you don't say?
Yeah, and I mean, he's already said in the past that the United States should not return to the gold standard. So they don't want to go back to the gold standard. They want to keep printing money. They want to keep it going.
As a quick aside, I hate to cut you off. Quick aside, the reason why the Federal Reserve does not want to go back to the gold standard is because they already pissed off that industry. Yeah. You remember, we've already broken.
China doesn't trust us.
There's no need to hold gold. You remember when the Federal Reserve broke away from the gold, from being backed by gold, we basically said, all right, we're done. So if you're on this game plan and you have gold, you look dumb to other people in the Federal Reserve because they're like, look, we're over here literally printing money.
Yeah.
You having gold shows that what we're doing is wrong. So if anything, as you said, they're never going back to gold. That ship is stale.
They would basically be admitting they were wrong.
Right.
Which, of course, they can't do that because in a debt-based society, you got to keep the debt rolling, baby.
Right.
But unfortunately for the Federal Reserve, the reason they're sweating, the reason they keep coming out with statements about it is because the statement "drop gold, buy Bitcoin" is starting to become popular. People are starting to realize, hey, if the Fed chairman recognizes it as a store of value, I don't know how much more we can explain it. We can talk to it blue in the face, but if the one person who controls the money that you love so much is telling you this is a store of value, then it absolutely is. Now, as far as long term, it's the best performing store of value in the history of any asset. So of course he won't say that, but for them, they're looking at it where they're like, well, if countries start backing up their currency with something other than gold and it's Bitcoin, hopefully we're in position, because the Federal Reserve right now, I think they're running around like chickens with their head cut off, trying to figure out how to stop.
We are literally talking about our entire everything we believe in our country getting flipped. People still don't get that because they haven't seen it, which I can't. I mean, I really can't. I hope Mark Zuckerberg balls up one day and just say, you know what, I want an army. Like I'm not feeling safe with all these Senate. What he getting every week? All these memoratoriums. Yeah. I'm not feeling safe anymore. I don't want to leave California, but I do want an army. Yeah. What's going to happen today? He decides to do that.
Right into the trash can.
Right. S1 Dub said Trump got his talking points from someone. He called Bitcoin cryptocurrency, but called Libra virtual currency. Oh, yeah. He would have known the difference. Let someone brief.
He copied and pasted that from the email.
This is what I'm trying to tell people. This is, I mean, it's not even a maybe. This is how it works. I've done it professionally. Someone like me or any other mid 20-year-old, early 30-year-old will write speeches, do the homework, do the due diligence, and we bring it up to our bosses. Usually beforehand, the Department of Defense, they get either, we give them a call, or depending on how high level it is, they get a call, virtual conference. We talk about what we wrote up. They might want to take a peek at it. They, basically spell checking and say, nope, add these message points in there. You put your last touch on, you give it back to your boss, i.e. in this position down on Trump or EG. He puts his stamp on it. You get that back from him. You run it back through the Department of Defense. And literally, this does actually happen pretty fast because everybody knows everybody call you up on the phone. And then you give it back to him for the final edit. All right? So, no, he doesn't write this stuff, people. No, but it's not just Trump. Obama didn't write his stuff either.
Nobody does.
George Bush didn't either. Like, that's what we're here for. That's why we have jobs in these positions as PR officers. So, no, none of them are writing it. And again, it wasn't even about, when I said it wasn't about, it could have been Hillary Clinton there. It could have been Bernie, like I said. It could have been whoever. My point was, when the president, whoever that president is, mentions the word Bitcoin, it is like the races are on and going. It's official. I mean, expect terrorists to happen next. I mean, in the next 6 months. Bitcoin and terrorists, we got to get that explosion going. Yeah. And then, and then expect some other madness. But this is the cycle.
You know what else is funny about him saying that is there are people who don't believe in Bitcoin but also hate Trump more. The juxtaposition of what they're going to have to do from here on out is going to be hilarious because they're going to be like, all right, well, who do I listen to? Is he correct or is he wrong? Or should I just go against him because I don't like him? That's going to be hilarious to see when in actuality, we've been telling you all along, when he says it, it's going to be, it's too late at that point. It's news now. That means they've already been working on it.
Well, and you know what? And to keep it real too, people, everyone wondered why we got electric cars so late. Of course, if you were paying attention, because George Bush and his family own oil in Texas, which is why the electric programs were never pushed. Well, who had been in office until 2016 when this financial program was never pushed? So before, again, we were going to start blaming presidents. Obama was in office at the financial crash, and during the whole time, Bitcoin actually built up once and then went back bust and then restarted to build up and accumulate again. So, again, it's crazy to see it, but what I'm paying attention here is that the fact that the Fed chairman is coming out and being unbiased is saying a lot. Is saying that, showing that how much power he has, because every other congressperson out there has been saying no to Bitcoin and crypto. But I see the Federal Reserve. They're trying to come out and still trying to play the happy friend. Like, hey, we're just trying to make sure when all the dust is clear, we're still in charge. But speaking about, all these billionaires, billionaire Mark Cuban came out and said Facebook's Libra was a big mistake. Sounds like a billionaire that's a hater that he didn't do it first.
Billionaires fighting billionaires.
Right? You got to love it. Mavericks basketball team owner and billionaire entrepreneur Mark Cuban defined Facebook Libra stablecoin as a big mistake in an interview with CNBC on today, July 12th. Quoted saying, "I'm not a big fan of what they're doing there. I think it's a big mistake." He also quoted as saying that the concern about, first he was saying the concern about Libra's global impact was more than the impact of the United States would be that globally and in countries where there isn't a lot of law, this is him being quoted now, or a lot of government stability or currency stability, then it can be dangerous. He declared, again, another quote, "There's going to be some despo in some African country that gets really upset and they can't control their currency anymore, and that's where the real problems are occurring." I mean, you talk about ignorance.
Good gracious.
This is why we say just because they're a billionaire doesn't mean they're smart.
People are slow. People are slow.
They
got to catch up.
I mean, at this point,
you got to know colonialism happens. They don't control nothing.
Perfect example is just how athletes are getting paid. People say these athletes, at least male athletes, sorry ladies, it is what it is. But people say, I did that for the clickbait people. People talk about these athletes and these big contracts. Well, it's just like the numbers are there for them to make the big contracts, right? That many people watch it or whatever. So it's pretty entertaining to see something like this where he talks about an entire continent that gets really bad and upset. And I remember you gave me an interesting fact and number first. You said, what could be more barbaric than dropping the bomb on somebody?
Yeah.
So I wonder what was worse. And some tribal village or country in Africa where a bunch of people are having a civil war, or an entire country carrying out a 2 to plus 10-year campaign on another region of the world, all you do is drop bombs because we can't control our currency or our oil over there.
Which
so
we've already done for hundreds of years.
It's crazy.
I mean, you don't
really
want to see a side by side because, like we said, please don't make us fans of Facebook and
right.
Libra. But if you look at it and you say, hey, if you use Libra, when we take our fees, this is what we spend it on, and then look at what the government spends it on if you use fiat currency. And if some of that budget is still war and taking over people are going to say, hey, then why not use Libra? And that's what I think they're scared of, especially in the African countries where they can't control currency. They already don't control it.
What do you mean African countries are going to become powerful?
France has been killing the economy for years. They already don't control the currency.
But everyone knows this. Mark Cuban knows it.
You got to know this by now. And, of course, some ignorant statements, but it doesn't really mean they don't know it. Like you said, they just say it. And overall, I think it's not a big self-starter. Libra's still going forward. He might have been told to say this, whatever. But I think Libra's still going forward, even without Mark Cuban's approval.
Listen, this is what you're seeing here when it comes to all these Congress people, all these billionaires who are making all these statements. You are literally seeing what a mainstream gang signs look like hanging out the window. You look at the rap videos and all that, people gang signs out the window, driving around, loud music, hooting and hollering, making noise. This is like the white collar version of it.
This is real.
Instead of them throwing up whatever gang they're in and some hand signs, they're just like F Bitcoin, African countries over here, like
send out a press release.
Cryptocurrency, what that is literally what they're doing. They're all on the same corrupt team together doing it because, Mark Cuban, what are you even talking about?
Yeah,
and this is the same guy as you see in the article. He called Bitcoin a bubble back in 2017. So so you shouldn't be talking about it anymore. Like you struck out already.
Sergeant Crypto already said he got that tap on the shoulder, fam.
Right.
It's, might be over for your boy.
But at this point, go Libra. I mean, if this is what it's doing,
this is what it takes. Yeah.
If this is what it takes to go Libra. All right, Bitpoint exchange hacked for $32 million in cryptocurrency. Wow. What is going on with Bitpoint?
Man, well, the Japanese crypto exchange Bitcoin
license.
Lost 30.
License one too. Remember, this is why they started doing the regulations.
And this was what it was supposed to protect against. But they lost $32 million in a hack, supposedly, involving XRP, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. Right. Bloomberg reports that shares of Bitpoint's parent firm shed 19% following news of the incident and were untraded in Tokyo as of 1:44 p.m. on a glut of sell orders. So they basically overran the system with sell orders because it was down 20%. It's crazy that these hacks happen. But this hack happened to a company that was on the stock market because, like you said, they were licensed.
This is why you guys don't need self-regulation.
Their parent firm is on the stock
market. You need
to
to have us come regulate you and license you and know your customer, AML, and all these things that make it so the mom and pop can't get it. Because if you do get hacked, or with our regulations, you won't get hacked, which we keep saying is inevitable. Yeah. You telling a hacker not going to hack is going to make a hacker hacker.
Yeah, you're just holding up the red flag.
Right.
You basically want them to come charge at you. And I hate the fact that it happens, sort of, but that's only if it really happened. I mean, that's the thing. We've seen so many exchanges get hacked, and then the owners just go away. We saw the Quadriga CX fiasco, 190 million gone. We've seen other $534 million gone from different, CoinCheck? That was in Japan as well. So it's not something that we haven't seen before, but we just don't think, honestly, I don't think any of these hacks are real hacks.
We know it's happening.
They pay $1 million to a good group just to take out the 30.
No, they're playing a regular. No, now they're playing the regulators. The regulators they're like, but when we used to do our own extra scams, we could take all our money home. Yeah. The regulators like we got that. Yeah, here's the thing: if you do your own extra scam, we got to arrest somebody. Right?
Exactly.
Now, if you do it through us, we can make sure the right people in the right positions. Make this look like a real hack. I mean, come on.
Yep.
So this being a licensed crypto exchange in Japan has shown me that your entire past year and a half of pushing all these regulations and regulatory matters and licensing matters and trying to shut down exchanges have been in vain because the ones you regulate and license still cannot survive on their own. So all that know your customer, anti-money laundering, it does not mean anything if you just got hacked. Where you think they're just going to hack it and only take the crypto? No, we got customer data. Have we forgot what's value out here? Like the customer data itself from an exchange may be worth more than 32 mil itself. You know what people to get in. You gotta remember, it's some sophisticated hacks out there, dark web customers all over. I mean, you can resell and sell that data over and over and over again. So,
and think about if you're building an exchange, if you reach out for engineers who can build an exchange, there could be hackers who are just like, I've hacked so many exchanges, I know how to build an exchange to get hacked.
Really? Yeah.
So you reach out for these jobs, there's only a small pool of people that can do it. They show up like, yeah, I can help build your exchange. Everything goes fine. And then they built the back door that you don't know about. Boom. These small exchanges.
There's probably a good chance of that a lot of happening, like you said.
It's got to be an inside job.
You keep hiring the same
groups of people, and you don't know who's the.
You don't know nothing about developing. You don't know about.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to read my code? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like
somebody check behind it.
And the header notes is like, yeah, I'm actually about to hack you all, but you don't know what you're looking at, and it's just like, all right, well. All right, on to some great news in the day. Of course, the Miami, I can't even say it. Miami. The Miami Dolphins now have an official crypto and is Litecoin.
Oh, yeah, Litecoin Foundation.
Litecoin is everywhere. UFC, Miami Dolphins, even though as reported by many of the main sports analysts as of late, it is crazy. No one is talking about football. It is all basketball still. NBA took over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It looks like American football team, the Miami Dolphins, have teamed up with the Litecoin Foundation to accept crypto payments. Bitcoin today, what's going on with the story?
Oh, yeah. Well, cryptocurrency users will reportedly be able to buy raffle tickets with Litecoin and Bitcoin and can do so online or via in-stadium kiosk at their stadium. Litecoin and Bitcoin are the two ones that they're going with right now. Of course, Litecoin was named the official crypto, but you got to have Bitcoin in there because of the partnerships that's been developed over time. So it's good to see. This will not be the last team that does it. I believe a lot of crypto projects are trying to partner with different NFL, NBA teams because that's how you get more promotion than anywhere, really. So shout out to Litecoin. They've been doing some work. John Kim and Charlie Lee. Shout out to Litecoin Foundation.
There we go. And let's see. For the free crypto coin, here's a bigger one. Take the whole weekend. We might even go into next week. If you can find one of the episodes where we mentioned Donald Trump mentioning Bitcoin, if you can find those episodes, I'm thinking it might have been from 2017, people. So good luck. But let's see how many crypto. Let's give out a big number this go round.
Oh yeah. We'll talk to Shannon. We'll give out a big
prize.
We'll
talk to Shannon. I'm thinking it'll be some thousands on there though.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Be thousands. We'll get more back to it this week. You can get this weekend as a head start. But try to find one of those episodes where we mentioned Donald Trump. That'll be hilarious. I know some people have been going back. You got to catch the recap, Paradigm. That's what's up. But if anybody can find some of those, we'll make sure we send you a ton of cryptic coins to kind of offset some of that stench the president and his commanders and chiefs, his lieutenants, I should say, like Maxine Waters, has been putting in our crypto industry this past week.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, that is our show today, folks. Have a happy Friday, and we will see you all Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.